Well, good morning there to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is Scott Manning live from Scott Manning Facebook, YouTube Sports Talk. I want to thank all of my loyal viewers for being with me here this morning. I got to let you know, the latest college football playoff poll has come out. I'm going to let you know of all these major changes here this morning, and there's been a lot of them. Numbers 1 and 2, Alabama and Clemson still stay the same. Alabama, after pitching a 29-0 shutout against LSU on Saturday night, LSU dropped 4 spots to number 7. Clemson, what can you say? They put 77 on the board against Louisville last Saturday, so they're going to be number 2. Notre Dame, despite having to escape against Northwestern, is number 3. Michigan, the revenge tour is on, baby. I hate to say it, but Michigan's number 4 right now. Georgia moved up 1 spot to number 5. They will be facing Alabama in the SEC Championship game on December 1st. Keep that in mind. At number 6, Oklahoma. After surviving against Texas Tech Saturday night, they moved up 1 spot to number 6. LSU dropped to number 7. They lost 4 spots, like I said a second ago. Washington State, they still stayed the same at number 8. At number 9, and this is a big one, after knocking off Texas on Saturday, West Virginia has moved to number 9. And that is very important. Keep in mind, November 23rd, Oklahoma faces West Virginia. They could face each other one more time in the Big 12 championship game. Keep that in mind. Ohio State stayed the same at number 10. It is a miracle that Ohio State didn't drop 1 or 2 spots after their performance against Nebraska on Saturday. I was not impressed at all. Turned the ball over 3 times, we still won. That was ugly. At number 11, Kentucky. They dropped 2 spots after getting beat 34-17 in the hands of Georgia on Saturday, so they dropped 2 spots to number 11. Central Florida stayed where they are at number 12. At number 13, Syracuse. They jumped 6 spots from number 19 to number 13. NC State. They went up 7 spots from number 21 to number 14. Nice week for them. Florida dropped to number 15. Mississippi State went to number 16. Boston College. Keep this. They moved up from number 22 to number 17. Keep this in mind. Clemson, Boston College, the game of the weekend on Saturday in college football. That's going to be the game of the weekend. Michigan State, not ranked last week. They moved up to number 18. I'm going to address Michigan State, Ohio State a little bit more here in a second. Texas. I don't know how in the world they're still in the top 20. They've dropped 2 straight. They've lost to Oklahoma State in the final seconds. They gave the game away against West Virginia last Saturday. But they're still in the top 20, number 19. Penn State, not good. They dropped 6 spots from number 14 to number 20 after getting their doors blown off by Michigan on Saturday. Iowa, another big loser. Went from number 16 to number 21. Iowa State, nice week for them. They moved up 1. Fresno State, they stayed where they're at. And we need to welcome back Auburn and Washington to number 24 and number 25 this week. So there's your top 25. Now there's a few things I need to talk about. Number 1, Clemson and Boston College, Saturday night. That's a big game on Saturday. Clemson versus Boston College in the ACC, that's a biggie. Everybody's been talking about this matchup for weeks, and it's a big one. Bottom line is, whoever wins this game is going to be in the driver's seat to win the ACC. The next one I want to talk about, Michigan State, Ohio State. Buckeye fans, I am nervous as can be. I'm as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Here's why. We barely survived Nebraska. We barely survived them. If we played like we did against the Cornhuskers, Michigan State's going to blow our doors off. I mean, we turned the ball over 3 times. Dwayne Haskins wasn't himself. At least the Buckeyes got the run game going. That was huge. That was important. But the bottom line is, we got to play much better. And another thing that worries me is the game is in East Lansing. Now, all of a sudden, Michigan State's in the top 20. They come in at number 18. And you know, Brian Lerecki and Mark D'Antonio, they're going to be ready for us. You better believe they're going to be ready for us. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ohio State Nation, if you don't believe in the power of prayer, you better start believing now, because we're going to need all the prayers we can get when we face Michigan State on Saturday. Bottom line, The Buckeyes struggled against Nebraska. Michigan State took care of Maryland, no problem. The Buckeye defense, Draymond Jones, Chase Young, they're playing their hearts out. The Ohio State running game finally got going. J.K. Dobbins finally ran for a rush for over 100 yards last week against Nebraska. But we turned the ball over 3 times. If we turn the ball over once to Michigan State, we're going to be in for a nightmare. And that's a new kickoff. And I've been thinking long and hard about this. Buckeye Nation, we need to wake up. And I'm going to say this now. I'm worried. You better believe I'm worried. And I'm going to say this to you. To all Ohio State fans all out there. We got to run the ball better. Dwayne Haskins, he only threw for 250 yards last week. There's some concerns there. We turned the ball over 3 times. Can't do that. I'm going to be out of breath before this day's over. And you got to think about this too, Ohio State. We got Michigan coming up in the showdown in the shoe. And I talked to my sister. My sister has a friend of hers. One of her coworkers has a husband who's a diehard Ohio State fan. He does not see Ohio State neither beat Michigan State nor Michigan. And I've got to go along with that. Because let's think about it. Michigan State's playing better. Ohio State's been struggling. Brian Lerecki has been playing better. And let's think about this for Michigan. They're just clicking on all cylinders right now. They got Karan Higdon, the new big man on campus. They got a fantastic defense. Zach Gentry, Shea Patterson. They got a team right now. And right now, they're on the revenge tour. So they could get some major, major revenge on us. And I'm going to tell you right now, Jim Harbaugh knew his job was on the line. That's all there was to it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm worried. We need to worry about Michigan State first. They can jump out at us. They've done it before. Every time we play them here in Columbus or in East Lansing. Now this year we got to go to East Lansing. Michigan State plays us tough. Even 2 years ago when they were 3-8, they gave us a battle all the way to the end. So if I was Ohio State, I'd be praying you better start praying or believe in the power of prayer now, because the Buckeyes are going to need all the prayers they can get. And that's all there is to it. But let's think about this for a minute. I want to talk about Notre Dame. I want to talk about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish for a few minutes. Now, you know Notre Dame plays Florida State this coming Saturday. But I'm thinking ahead. Here's why. Notre Dame faces Syracuse. Number 4, we have number 3 Notre Dame against number 13 Syracuse. And that game is in New York. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Syracuse Orange have come out and surprised me. And all you guys everybody was thinking, Notre Dame's going to have a cupcake schedule. I see one more big test. And that's against Syracuse. Don't let the Orange fool you. And I'm going to say this now. The Fighting Irish are going to be in for a dogfight against Syracuse here in about a couple weeks. But don't take Ian Book lightly. Dexter Williams, Chase Claypool, they'll be ready to play. But I'm thinking ahead to the Notre Dame Syracuse contest, because I could be very important on who wins if Notre Dame stays in or they get knocked out. But I'm going to say this too in closing. When I found out about this new polls, when the poll came out, I knew the top 6 were going to be like this. I predicted Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan, Georgia, Oklahoma. But keep this in mind too. Georgia plays Alabama in the SEC championship game on December 1st. Oklahoma plays West Virginia on November 23rd. They could have to face each other in the Big 12 title game. Think about that too. Washington State. Could they jump out of the pack? Could they come out of nowhere and get into the top 4? Well, if for Washington State to get into the top 4, they would need some help. They would have to win the Pac-12 championship and hope that Georgia goes down, Oklahoma loses back-to-back to West Virginia, or hopefully West Virginia doesn't jump them here in the final weeks. And they would also need Ohio State to knock off Michigan. Any of that can happen. Washington State could jump in and take it away. I've seen stranger things happen. But I'm going to say this. We got a few weeks to go. The season's almost over. And we're going to be talking about conference championship weekend before we know it. And I'm going to say this right now. Don't take anything lightly. Because it ain't over yet. And it ain't over until the fat lady sings. And I don't hear any fat ladies singing yet. Or in this house or in our home with me and my sister, when it comes to sports, it ain't over till I start singing. And I ain't blurting notes, and I ain't singing yet, and I ain't blurting any notes, so don't even think about trying to have me sing a couple of notes, because it ain't going to happen just yet. We got a few weeks to go. A lot of things can happen between now and then. But for the time being, there's going to be a lot of changes going to be happening before the season is over. And that's all I got to say today. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time with me here this morning. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is type my name, scroll down, look for this pretty face, click subscribe, and you'll see all the sports videos I've done so far. And don't forget, Friday night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, I will bring you the Scott Manning YouTube College Football Podcast pregame show, where we're going to be talking to college football and get you ready for Saturday. I want to thank you guys for being with me here this morning. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless.